Do you know how to say no to a request or offer which you really don't want to do? If the answer to that question is no, then I bet you always have too much to do, and this video will help you. I'm Andy Smith from Change Smith Coaching. I guide working parents to success at home and in their careers. And in this week's video and blog, I'm going to help you deal with those situations where you've got things planned and the boss or a colleague or a friend or the parent-teacher association secretary or the vicar comes along and asks you to do something else, or to take on some more work, or to attend or lead a meeting at short notice. Basically to ask you to go somewhere or do something that you don't want to. And saying no can feel horrible. It feels like we're letting someone down, or we have to stand up to the boss, and that can be difficult. But to succeed at work and at home, you have to balance saying yes and no. You will not succeed by being a people pleaser. And here's what you need to know. So first of all, you have to put yourself first. This is about self. Put yourself first. Be a little selfish. Build your self-esteem. Saying no does not make you a bad person. I think a lot of the issues with saying no for people go right the way back to childhood. I think most of us as children were brought up to believe, and indeed we were taught, that to say no was rude or was impolite. And if that's the case for you, then now is very definitely the time to lose what is a very limiting belief. A belief that will hamper your ability to succeed in what you want to do. You have every right to decide what you want to do, when you want to do it, and with whom you want to do it. And that really does apply in the workplace as well as at home. Yes, there are a few things that make that situation slightly more complex, but basically you still have the right to govern how you go about doing your job. So if you find saying no and putting yourself first hard, what can you do? What can you do? Well, the next thing to think about is about bringing some clarity into your life. Be really clear about what you want to achieve at work and at home. If you have clearly stated goals for the year in the key areas of your life, then you can break them down into goals and targets and tasks. And you can break those goals and targets and tasks down by quarter and by month and by week and by day. And then comes a little bit of magic. And if you're not doing this, then I promise you, if you start doing this straight away, it will make your life much easier, and it will make saying no a lot easier. Take those goals and targets and tasks and start to diary time to work on them. And reverse your normal approach to diary management. Start 6 months out and work back. And just set aside blocks of time each week, each day. It depends on how busy your diary is. But take the advantage of the fact that your diary in 6 months' time will probably be fairly clear, and book and block time out and work back right the way up until tomorrow. And this works really, really well. For years, in a very, very busy, large PLC here in the UK, I diaried time and meetings with myself on a regular basis. And it's such a powerful tool, because here's what happens. Someone comes along to you, so someone come along to me and say, Andy, can we meet? We need to talk about such and such. Can we meet next Tuesday at 10 o'clock? So what you always do is say, hang on a second, let me check my diary. Check the diary. And it is so much easier to be able to say to someone, if this is the case, I'm really sorry, I've already got a meeting between 10 and 12 that day. They don't need to know that what's in my diary says 10 to 12 meet AS, and that AS is Andy Smith, and I've diaried a meeting with myself. They don't need to know that, it doesn't matter. But I promise you, it makes it so much easier from your perspective if you can truthfully say, I'm really sorry, I've already got something scheduled. So, clarity of goals and time blocking will really help you in saying no. And lastly today, here are some very practical tips about saying no with confidence. I'm going to run through some phrases that work in saying no. They can work on their own, or you can combine them. And if you struggle with saying no, then I hope that some of these phrases will help you. I'm literally going to run through a list of phrases, so it's going to sound a bit odd. Frankly, it's going to feel a bit odd. But here they are. Take them, play around with them, put them into your own words. So, here's what you can say to a request for some unexpected time or a request for you to work on something. No. I can't. I don't want to. I'm sorry, but I can't do that today. I'm sorry, that really doesn't work for me right now. It's just not a good time for me at the moment. I'm working on some other projects at the moment, and what that means is that I wouldn't be able to give your project my full time and attention. Thank you for asking. I'm really honoured, but is there some other way that I could support you on this project? You see, at the moment I could do X, but I just don't have the time to do Y. And here's one if your boss comes and asks you to take on some additional work unexpectedly, and you really don't want to do it or can't take that extra work on. So try this or a variant of this. I'd be really happy to take that project on, but I'm already working on X, Y and Z projects for you. How do you think I should best prioritise all of those things? I promise you, any boss worth their salt will listen. They won't object to that gentlest of pushbacks, and the fact you're engaging in them with a dialogue about prioritisation will stand you in good stead. So, with those phrases or other phrases that you can find that work for you, what you need to do with them is you need to be direct, you need to be polite, but get to know as quickly as you can. Don't lie, and above everything, practice saying these things. If you find saying no is hard, practice. You know what kind of scenarios requests for your time are going to crop up in. So practice saying no, and it will feel really odd, but practice it out loud so that you get used to hearing your voice saying no. That will stand you in really good stead. It will help you to say no with confidence. I hope you find that blog helpful. I'll be posting some tips, some extracts from it on my Facebook page. Please visit that page, like it and comment it to join in the dialogue with me. Or you can email me or just give me a telephone call. But until next week, thanks and goodbye.